Hey, what's up? I'm gonna be reviewing a video called The Real Reason You're Aging Fast After 40.
Aging is inevitable, but how you age is entirely up to you. Some men hit 40 and start falling apart, losing muscle, energy, and drive, while others stay strong and sharp and full of life.
Yes, that means that you're unhealthy, as in eating bad food. What else does he think it means?
Well into their 60s and 70s and beyond. I've seen men in the ER in their 90s who are as spry as men in their 50s and men in their 40s who look like they're in their 90s. The difference?
I don't think that you've seen a guy or a woman who's in her 40s and they look like they are in their 90s. Show me that.
They understand the science of aging and how to fight it, whether they realize it or not. Science shows that you can slow down aging and prevent muscle loss and boost energy and even keep your testosterone levels high with the right strategies. And today I'm going to break down exactly how to do that. I'm Dr. Seth Capehart. I'm an emergency physician, a former military special operations guy, and I've spent the last 20 years
Wait, special military operations? As in a government slave? Wow, cool. Cool, man.
studying human performance and health observation. I'm not here to sell you anything. This is not a sponsored video, not affiliated. I have nothing to gain from this, just here to give you the truth. Before we get into it, quick disclaimer, I'm a physician, but I'm not your physician. This is not medical advice. Always consult with your doctor before making any major changes to your health routine. All right, let's get into the science of aging and how to stay young and strong forever. Why do we age? The science behind it. Let's think. Aging isn't just about getting older. It's about how your cells, hormones, and metabolism change over time. And science has identified the key drivers of aging. The first factor is mitochondrial decline.
Yes, it all changes. That's natural. But nowadays we are more so looking at the degeneration of the body, or deterioration more so. The degeneration happens more so over the generations. But this deterioration, which we see in humans today, how the skin is full of spots, it falls apart, you can't walk anymore. None of that has to do with aging whatsoever. This doesn't happen because your body gets older. This is a sort of complicated topic. I actually have a full video about this on Telegram explaining the differences between the two. I think that most people don't get this and just believe that when you age, you become sick basically, but you don't become sick with age. That would mean that it's natural to be sick because you age naturally and you get sicker and sicker. That's how most people see it. This is not true. You should not be getting sick when you age.
Your mitochondria are the little powerhouses of your cells, create energy and fuel and muscle function and keep your brain sharp. As you age, mitochondria becomes less efficient, leading to fatigue, slower recovery, and increased fat gain. But research shows that certain lifestyle changes can slow down mitochondrial aging and even
endurance exercise, blah, blah, blah. Because you produce more energy in response to the stress, or what is he saying? There's no context here.
Generate them. The second factor is hormonal decline. Testosterone levels start dropping around 1% per year after age 30, and we already have all-time lows of testosterone levels among men due to a variety of factors. But this leads to...
Yes, there's more reasons for it, but it's mostly the food that we eat, or the lack of the real food that we eat more so. That's it. Humans in nature eat raw animal organs, raw meat, the muscle meat more so if they have no other food left, and they drink blood and so on. Who eats that nowadays? Almost nobody. We eat seeds and vegetables which don't exist in nature, just non-food items which humans never used to eat. Why would it be surprising that we have low testosterone and are sick today? That should be common sense.
Muscle loss, fat gain, lower energy, and reduced motivation. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are proven ways to maintain high testosterone naturally and, if needed, medically. Third factor is inflammation and oxidative stress. Every day, your cells experience damage from toxins, poor diet, and stress. Over time, this leads to chronic inflammation, joint pain, increased risk of heart disease, and cancers. The fourth factor...
Yes, and one of the main reasons this is happening today, besides food, is exercise, especially people who go to the gym and run outside. Humans never used to do that. In the history of humanity, it was unheard of. Up until the last 20, 30 years, that's when it started. And that's exactly when the real sickness kicked in.
Third is loss of muscle mass, also known as sarcopenia. If you're not actively maintaining your muscle mass, you're losing it.
You only... oh my god, this is so wrong. You can only maintain the muscle mass which you need. And you do that by eating food. As in, you have a certain amount of muscle, your body is adapted to whatever it needs to do in everyday life. And if you eat raw meat especially, just an animal-based diet at least, even if it's cooked, then you will maintain the muscle because you maintain it with food. You can't maintain muscle any other way. And you lose muscle because of the lack of food or because you're not trying to adapt to something anymore. As in, you used to be a bodybuilder, you stop bodybuilding, your body doesn't need to adapt to the stress, you lifting metal for no reason, and that's why the muscle mass goes down, because there's no need for it anymore. That's it. And if you do what you did your whole life, but you're still losing muscle when you age, then it's only because of your diet. It's nothing else. But as I can see, he's going to be showing you that you should be exercising. But why would you do that? Why do I need to adapt my body to lift metal up and down? There's no need for that. If I don't lift metal, but I do whatever I do naturally in everyday life, and I eat raw meat, I keep exactly the same muscle mass, no matter how old I am. Why would I lose it?
And less muscle means slower metabolism, higher risk of injury, and weaker.
Slower metabolism is good. Slower metabolism means slower aging. Why would you need higher metabolism?
Less capable body. The good news, you can fight all of these, and I'll tell you how.
Well, yeah, you would have a less capable body, but what do you want to do? Do you want to be 80 years old and still deadlift for no reason? Just to risk injuries? Why would you need that? You're capable of what exactly? Why would we need to be capable of doing something which we don't need to do? Why would we need to do sit-ups or anything like that? In general, no matter how old you are, you don't need that.
Step 1. Build and maintain muscle. This is your anti-aging insurance policy.
Literally the opposite. What? This is exactly how you age the fastest possible way.
If you want to stay young, strong, and capable, lifting weights is non-negotiable.
Actually, I wanted to show you the thumbnail of the video. Forever young, and then there's a young girl looking at this old guy because he works out. I think that that's what he's implying. Probably some guy who's on testosterone replacement therapy. Anyway, that's what he actually thinks, I guess, or maybe it's just to get people to click on the video because older guys want to attract girls, I guess. Maybe it's kind of clickbait, but maybe it's also just him being delusional. I just wanted to point that out because obviously it's never going to work.
After 40, you lose about 3 to 5% of your muscle mass per decade.
Yeah, but it depends on how much muscle mass you had in the first place. If you look at somebody who went to the gym, then you lose, of course, because you're not going to go to the gym anymore in your 40s, 50s. If you're in your 20s right now, you're watching this video, think about your future. You're going to have all of this muscle mass. You're going to lose it, as in your body will go back to its natural state anyway eventually, because you will stop. And if you think that you won't, you're delusional about it, because you will. And then what's going to happen? You're going to have very loose skin everywhere. It's the same as when you used to have too much fat. Especially bodybuilders who are obese have a lot of muscle, abnormal amounts. They have all of this loose skin everywhere afterwards. The same way as it is with people who have too much fat. That's something that you should think about. Better just keep the natural amount of muscle that you have. Don't overdo it, because otherwise you will have these problems and it's not going to look good.
If you don't do anything to stop it, that's what happens. And once you lose muscle,
you don't need to do any of that, because you don't need to adapt your body to any of that. Your body will keep the natural amount of muscle that it needs. That's it. And if you eat raw meat, you're going to have no problem maintaining it. Most people today eat a terrible diet. They keep getting sicker. That's why they can't even maintain any of the muscle. And then if you're put in a care home where you're going to be fed bread with margarine and marmalade, literally that's what they feed the people there, you're going to lose muscle because you're not eating real food whatsoever anymore. And if you get a little bit of meat that's going to be super overcooked, most of the protein will be destroyed without any fat. So you're going to be hormonally dead, basically, if that happens. So why is it a surprise? And a lot of men and women, but more so men, get put on statins today, which again lower cholesterol, as in lower your hormones indirectly. What's the surprise there that people lose the muscle today? It's because they are sick, they are on horrible diets, and the medications also don't help. If you live naturally, you don't lose the muscle. Why would you? There's no reason, argument, science, or anything behind these claims.
You lose strength, and metabolism slows down, and your energy gets worse. The solution, strength training, at least 3 to 4.
Well, no, it's going to deplete you even quicker, and you're going to age even quicker. All stress ages you. If you know anything about aging and biochemistry, you know that. All stress, no matter what kind, whatever causes it, so-called physical and mental stress, it all ages you. So why would you do strength training, which is extreme stress? It's considered to be extreme stress in biochemistry. Why would you age yourself even more? How is this anti-aging? Fuck man, this guy makes no sense.
4 times per week. Focus on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, presses, pull-ups, etc. These exercises stimulate the most muscle growth and keep your metabolism high as well as your testosterone high. But muscle isn't just about looking good.
It literally decreases your testosterone, as proven in every study ever done.
It's the foundation of longevity. Studies have shown them.
How? Say anything you want about it. You become strong, whatever. You can argue about all of that. How does it have anything to do with longevity? The longest living people on earth don't exercise at all. Literally at all. Like the people in Okinawa, for example. They eat 95% animal products. He's not talking about diet. I guess that he won't, but still it's an important thing to mention. Their diet is like 5% plants. And they never exercised in their lives. And these people consistently live to over 100 years. Come on, that debunks your whole video already.
Muscle mass is one of the biggest predictors of longer health life. People with higher muscle mass have lower disease risk, better metabolic health, and more...
That's an association, a correlation. You could also look if they clean their windows, and you could simply say the group that cleans the windows lives longer. It's not science, it's not how it works. You can't just draw random correlations out of what you want to believe. That's how religions work. Stick to the reality, stick to the science then. Otherwise your channel will turn into a religious channel.
For mobility as they age. So don't make the mistake of only doing cardio. Cardio is great for your heart, but if you ignore...
Cardio is literally horrible for your heart. That's where cardio comes from. The reason it's called cardio is because it's so bad for your heart, your cardiovascular system. That's literally the origin of cardio. Also, marathon running, it's when the guy ran to the city marathon and died from a heart attack. Cardio is the worst thing ever. Humans are not runners. We are horrible at running, and if you run, you're gonna get a heart attack. Just get ready for that, if you're dumb enough to do it. Do any jogging, marathon running, you're gonna drop dead from a heart attack. Or if you do biking, in your 40s or 50s. More likely in your 40s.
More strength training, you're accelerating aging. The goal isn't to live long. It's to be strong and capable while doing it.
Yeah, but strong and capable of what? Running through the city for no reason on concrete? Why would I need to do it? And then I'll die when I'm 70 or something. Or I could live to 100 plus and not get my body adapted to running through the streets for no reason. Which one is better? Seeing your children, grandchildren, and all the other generations grow up and live to 100 plus? Or have your grandchildren ask their parents this: why did grandpa die at 70? He ran for no reason. We never do that as children. We're not that stupid, but he did it. And then one day he said, my heart hurts. And then he went out for his last run and he never came back. Is that better? Or is living longer better?
2. Optimize your testosterone and hormones. Your hormones control how you feel.
Yeah, by never exercising and eating raw meat.
Testosterone is the king of male hormones. If you let testosterone drop unchecked, you'll lose muscle, gain fat, and feel sluggish. But there are ways to keep your testosterone levels high naturally. First, focus on key nutrients that support testosterone: zinc, magnesium, boron, vitamin D, healthy fats.
He wrote born. I guess that it was a mistake, but this is all irrelevant. Don't look at the micronutrients that you need. Why would you? Because then you will think, oh, I can take a supplement. Supplements don't work. They are usually synthetic and fake. They don't even come from real food sources. It's all a scam, the whole industry. That's why it's bad to talk about single micronutrients. No, what you need to do is eat raw animal foods. Those are the most nutritious foods on earth. That's actually what they eat in Okinawa, partly. Also, they eat raw fish and raw goat meat in Okinawa. And the foods that they cook are pork foods, as in pig flesh and fat, organs also. They also cook everything in lard. The very few vegetables that they do cook, such as sweet potatoes, are cooked in lard. Okinawa is called the island of pork, by the way, if you didn't know, because they, for the most part, eat pork, which is cooked, and then a lot of raw meat also.
These are the building blocks of testosterone production. I have an entire video on it. Second, manage stress. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which lowers testosterone and
Wait, what? Oh my god. I can't anymore. How long is this video? How much more is he gonna contradict himself here? You just said to exercise, which is one of the most extremely stressful things you can do. And now you say to manage your stress, as in basically lower your stress. But you recommend only stressful things.
Speeds up aging. Meditation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why your video doesn't make any sense. That's what I said before.
Cold exposure, and even
What? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? No, wait. Did he contradict himself just this much just now? No, right? Right? Wait, what? Did he just say that cold exposure lowers your stress? No, he didn't, right? No, he didn't. He didn't, right? He didn't. Because it's the most stressful thing on earth. Wait, no, it's not possible. What's wrong with this guy?
Connecting from screens can help regulate stress and support healthy.
Well, wait, what? What? Wait, this whole video makes no sense anymore. Did he say that you should disconnect from your screens? I don't know, I paused it. Maybe I misheard him. Because I'm not recommending that, but me sitting in front of the screen, if you play video games or watch something, that basically gives you no stress, that's comfortable. That increases your longevity and testosterone. That's good for you. Not compared to what you should be naturally doing, but I'm just saying, in comparison to cold exposure and exercise, both of which lower your testosterone and lower your longevity, sitting at the screen and just chilling is awesome for you. Oh, it's the worst video I've ever seen. Wow. Oh, you did it. Bravo. Out of all the videos that I've reviewed, this is the worst one. What the fuck, man?
Hormones. Third, prioritize your sleep. Your body makes testosterone while you sleep. If you're only getting 5 or 6 hours per night, your testosterone levels can drop by 15 to 20%. Aim for 7 to 9 hours and focus on deep, high-quality sleep. You need to start tracking it, use one of the tracking rings or your Apple Watch, and get it down. Finally, if your testosterone is clinically low, you may need to consider TRT, also known as testosterone replacement therapy. It's not for everyone, but for men with legitimately low T levels, it can be life-changing. Step 3.
Yeah, but you're gonna be biochemically sick because you cannot inject or use patches or whatever of something external, which is usually synthetic anyway. That's a different problem. And then expect to simply have high testosterone and be healthy. It doesn't work like that. It's like saying that, let's say that there would be a real vitamin D supplement. Let's just say that, yeah, and it would work. You can't just take vitamin D and expect to have high vitamin D. Vitamin D doesn't work without vitamin A, for example. It's the same with testosterone. It doesn't just work on its own. You're just gonna severely age your body when you do that. If you have low testosterone, you eat a bad diet. Start eating what humans eat in nature, and you're gonna have higher normal levels of testosterone. Low testosterone is not normal, but very high, abnormally high, is also not normal.
Use fasting and nutrition to
Starve. So again, stress. So reduce stress, but do the most stressful things possible. You just contradict yourself constantly. We love to laugh at your fucking stupid shit.
slow down aging. What you eat and when you eat affects how you age. Intermittent fasting has been shown to increase growth hormone, improve
Growth hormone is an aging hormone. That's why it's released so much in puberty. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god, you want to keep your growth hormone as low as possible. You're saying the opposite of what we should do.
insulin sensitivity and trigger autophagy, as well as increase life
Autophagy is your body eating itself. It's the opposite again. What the fuck? So when you eat yourself, you eat your whole body. And if you starve for long enough, you pass away because of autophagy. So you don't want that. It's very stressful for you.
lifespan in general. Autophagy is a process where your body cleans out damaged cells.
Nah, man, this video just perfectly proves to you what's going on today. People are severely brainwashed to the point where you can really say they are under a magic spell. Because you cannot go as far as saying the opposite of the truth. That people get manipulated and lied to and don't really understand what's going on, that's clear today. But when you say the opposite of everything, he's literally recommending people how to age themselves as quickly as possible, then you're just very severely brainwashed. This is not even funny. This is just alarming.
And regenerates new ones. A great approach is the 16-8 fasting window, where you fast for 16 hours and then you eat in an 8-hour window.
You're just gonna lose your body fat, your cells. That's it.
This helps control blood sugar, boost metabolism, reduce inflammation, fight cancer, things like that. When you do eat, prioritize proteins and healthy fats, steak, eggs, wild-caught fish.
Oh, okay. Good recommendations. Ideally raw. That's not wild-caught fish, by the way. That's farmed salmon. That's clear as day.
Avocados.
Avocados are garbage. It's nothing. Olive oil is super toxic, extremely poisonous.
Olive oils. These are all support hormone production, muscle maintenance.
What? Avocados and olive oil are based on monounsaturated oils. What? Your body is made out of saturated fat for the most part. The first recommendations were good. No, man, you need to eat bone marrow, brain, liver, spleen, testicles. What the fuck, man? Eat natural food.
And brain function. Avoid processed junk like seed oils and refined sugars. These drive inflammation, weight gain, hormone imbalances. They cause type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. The cleaner your diet, the slower you age. Step 4. Move daily and stay mobile. You don't
Yes, and the cleanest diet is what you eat in nature. And what humans eat in nature is raw animal organs and blood.
just want to be strong. You want to be mobile, pain-free, and athletic for life. Incorporate daily movement outside of your workouts. Walk 8 to 10,000 steps per day.
Walking is fine, as you know yourself. I don't need to tell this to you. You go outside for a walk in nature, you play with your kids, whatever. It's all good. It's actually anti-stress. This does increase your longevity because it increases happiness. Happiness is good for you. He would probably say that happiness is bad for you, the way he talks.
Stretch or do mobility work. Stay active.
You're with your little doggy. Oh, you come, my little doggy.
Outside the gym. Play sports. Shoot some hoops. Go swim. Have fun with your
Playing sports is just what slaves do because they live in captivity. It's not gonna make you happy or even joyful.
kids. Joint pain,
Swimming is alright. As long as it's just chill, you swim, yeah, why not?
stiffness, and low energy aren't just normal aging. These are results of a sedentary lifestyle.
No. every human in nature lives a sedentary lifestyle, meaning that you're sedentary for 8 hours a day, I think, or 6. No, I think it's 6. The definition of the word sedentary, you can look it up yourself. That's how every human in nature lives. They chill, they sit and lay around most of the day, and then they hunt, reproduce, and do whatever they want the rest of the day. You do whatever you want all day long in nature, obviously. It's very different than living in captivity, which is the case for us today.
Keep moving and your body will stay young longer. Final thoughts. The blueprint for...
Yeah, moving if you want to and the way you want to, that's normal. Exercise is not moving. Exercise is stress. It means that it will cause exertion. That's where exercise comes from. That's not what you want. Exertion is stress, as he said himself when he contradicted himself. Exertion stress means aging.
Staying young and strong. If you want to fight aging, stay strong for life, here's the plan. Number 1, lift weights, build muscle. It's your anti-aging insurance policy. Number 2,
the guy misspells a lot. Blueprint. Like the blueprint protocol of Bright.
optimize testosterone with diet, sleep, and stress management. Number 3, use fasting and high-quality nutrition to reduce inflammation and boost longevity.
What kind of a point is that? Starve and eat a high micronutrient rich diet, which is basically what he said. So two opposites. Starve, eat no food, and eat the best food, which you didn't even present. You presented muscle meat, which is essentially slave food. It's the slave parts of the animals that they brainwashed you to eat. It's the worst parts of the animal.
And number 4, move daily, walk, stretch, play sports, stay mobile. Aging doesn't have to mean getting weak and broken. You can stay lean.
Yeah, that's true. That's when you deteriorate. That's not aging. He's right about that, but if you do everything that he said, besides eating good food, which he didn't even mention, as I said, then you're gonna age or deteriorate horribly. You're gonna deteriorate with your age, but it's not gonna be natural aging. You should be able to move around the same way as you did when you were 10 years old, when you were 100 years old. And that's what the actual people who live long lives report.
You can stay strong, you can stay full of energy if you take control now. Don't wait till you're 70. Do it now so that when you are 70, you feel like you're 30.
Okay, one of the worst videos I've ever seen. Almost everything that he said was wrong. He was right about eating nutrient-rich foods, but he didn't even present the most nutrient-rich foods. At least he didn't say that vegetables are nutrient-rich, because vegetables and seeds are the least nutrient-rich foods on earth. He said that you should be eating wild-caught fish, even though he showed farmed salmon, which was strange. And the other animal foods there, eggs and meat, but no organs, which are actually the most nutrient-rich foods. And in the rest of the video, he just completely contradicted himself. Said not to have stress, to have a low-stress lifestyle, essentially, to manage your stress. But then recommended starving and exercise, the most stressful things which people do today, and exactly the reason why people age so quickly today. Bravo! I couldn't even think of a worse video than this when it comes to aging. Exactly the opposite of everything that you should be doing. Cool, man. Thanks for watching.